Okay, so this committee meeting is now resumed, and just for the edification of all of us, to avoid us finding ourselves in this position again, Standing Order 71B says that amendments must be in writing and handed to the clerk for circulation. And there, as the leader of the House will know, there's a certain relationship that happens between the leader of the House and the clerk of the House for the circulation, for the receipt, release, and circulation of any amendments. So that I hope what was a tradition which worked for us will be maintained, so we won't find ourselves in this position again. All right? So, I think there has been some confusion. The clerk of the House had not received any actual amendments or any instructions to circulate any amendments. All right, so can we proceed?
Clauses 1 to 2.
The question is that clauses 1 to 2 stand part of the bill. Member for Chaguanas.
Madam Chair, Chaguanas West, I'm just occupying here for convenience. Yes, we have no objection, please.
All right, so the question is that clauses 1 to 2 now stand part of the bill. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say no. I think the ayes have it. Clauses 1 to 2 now stand part of the bill.
Clause 3.
The question is that clause 3 stand part of the bill. Attorney General.
Thank you, Madam Chair. In relation to Clause 3, Madam Speaker, we propose an amendment to Clause 3.1 in terms circulated, if I may explain. In the definition of child, we have currently included the words who is a patient and, which we propose to delete. We prefer to stay in the definition section with the classic definition of child as it appears in Act number 12 of 2012, definition of child being someone under 18 years of age. And then secondly, Madam Speaker, to let the law speak in the relevant section where children are dealt with, and that is in clauses 29 onward after licensing, where we treat in particular with the exposure to children. So this is just to harmonize the definition section into what is the classic definition of child, Madam Speaker.
Member for Chaguanas West.
Madam Chair, we have considered this proposed amendment, and it would be keeping it in line with the definitions across the board. So we are okay with this proposed amendment at Clause 3.1.
All right, so the question is that Clause 3 be amended as circulated. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say no. I think the ayes have it. The question is that Clause 3 as amended now stand part of the bill. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say no. I think the ayes have it. Clause 3 as amended now stands part of the bill.
Clauses 4 and 5.
The question is that clauses 4 and 5 stand part of the bill.
Madam Chair, we have no objections to clauses 4 and 5.
The question is that clauses 4 and 5 now stand part of the bill. Those in favor say aye. Aye. I think those against say no. I think the ayes have it. Clauses 4 and 5 now stand part of the bill.
Clause 6.
The question is that Clause 6 stand part of the bill. Attorney General.
Madam Chair, we propose a small amendment to Clause 6.2 by the inclusion in the chapeau appearing in Clause 6.2 of the words any of. This means, therefore, that of the 9 persons who are potentially appointed to the board by the President, that any of the specific 9 skills set out in letters A to I inclusive can be there. Of course, that is complemented by the inclusion of a semicolon at subparagraph H, education, or an inclusion of the word or, drug rehabilitation, so that the 9 members may be in the skills of any of those 9 categories set out, all in the alternative.
Okay. Member for Chaguanas West.
Madam Chair, the proposed amendments to clause 6.2 and 6.2H, we have no objection, please.
Right. The question is that clause 6 be amended as circulated. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say no. I think the ayes have it. The question is that clause 6 as amended now stand part of the bill. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say no. I think the ayes have it. Clause 6 as amended now stands part of the bill.
Clauses 7 to 10.
The question is that clauses 7 to 10 stand part of the bill. The question is that clauses 7 to 10 now stand part of the bill. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say no. I think the ayes have it. Clauses 7 to 10 now stand part of the bill.
Clause 11.
The question is that clause 7 stand part of the bill. Sorry, the question is that clause 11 stand part of the bill. Attorney General. Sorry, member for San Fernando West.
An acting Attorney General, so it's all right, Madam Chair, at least temporarily. Madam Chair, clause 11, we propose simply as an important amendment, which is changing the common M to capital M, as it's a defined term, Madam Speaker, and those are the reasons for the proposed amendment as circulated.
Member for Chaguanas West.
Madam Chair, I heard my friend said acting Attorney General temporary. I'm not sure what that means, but no objection to clause 11.
The question is that clause 11 be amended as circulated. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. I think the ayes have it. The question is that clause 11 as amended now stand part of the bill. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. I think the ayes have it. Clause 11 as amended stands part of the bill.
Clauses 12 to 33.
The question is that clauses 12 to 33 stand part of the bill. The question is that clauses 12 to 33 now stand part of the bill. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say no. I think the ayes have it. Clauses 12 to 33 now stand part of the bill.
Clause 34.
The question is that clause 34 stand part of the bill. Attorney General.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, we propose the inclusion of the word and in paragraph B. So just after, we're proposing to insert after the semicolon the word and. This would give us the conjunctive, Madam Speaker, into 34.5. So at 34.5, which is at page 53 of the report, that there is a conjunctive approach where the authority grants a transport license, etc. You must have all 3. The name and contact details of the licensee, the type and quantity of cannabis to be transported, and the location from which, so that we avoid the one of the 3 applying and therefore diluting the impact.
Member for Chaguanas West.
Madam Chair, we have considered the proposed amendment. We have no objection to this one.
Okay. So that the question is that clause 34 be amended as circulated. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say no. I think the ayes have it. The question is that clause 34 as amended now stand part of the bill. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say no. I think the ayes have it. Clause 34 as amended now stands part of the bill.
Clauses 35 to 64.
The question is that clauses 35 to 64 stand part of the bill. The question is that clauses 35 to 64 now stand part of the bill. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say no. I think the ayes have it. Clauses 35 to 64 now stand part of the bill.
Clause 65.
The question is that clause 65 stand part of the bill. Attorney General.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, clause 65 is proposed to be amended as circulated. And if I could explain, when the committee considered this report, Madam Chair, we did not have the benefit of settled versions of administrative fines language. And if I could explain, administrative fines have been refined as a result of the FATF, Financial Action Task Force recommendations, in recommendation 35. Those have been internationally tested, Madam Chair, and in those settled versions, we no longer need to express it as set out in 65.1 at page 67 of the bill, where the DPP's consent is being asked to be procured, mainly because it is an option for a prescribed summary offense. And Madam Chair, that is to be found by way of examples recently passed by this House in the SEZ legislation, just to name one in particular, the most recent of the lot. And therefore, Madam Chair, we are proposing this amendment as circulated to meet with local and international standards set in relation to the use of administrative fines, recommendation 35 of the Financial Action Task Force.
Member for Chaguanas West.
Madam Chair, we have considered the Acting Attorney General's proposal on this point. We have no objection to the proposed amendment at 65.1.
Thank you. The question is that clause 65 be amended as circulated. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say no. I think the ayes have it. The question is that clause 65 as amended now stand part of the bill. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say no. I think the ayes have it. Clause 65 as amended now stands part of the bill.
Clause 66.
The question is that clause 66 stand part of the bill. The question is that clause 66 now stand part of the bill. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say no. I think the ayes have it. Clause 66 now stands part of the bill.
Clause 67.
The question is that clause 67 stand part of the bill. Attorney General.
Madam Chair, in light of the requirements for administrative fines and their adjustment, as we just saw in clause 65, clause 67 is proposed to be amended by deleting the word civil and putting administrative, which is a direct cross-reference to the marginal note in clause 65, even though marginal notes are not part of interpretation. This is in fact an administrative fine, and therefore we are asking for this to be harmonized with what the House has just approved in clause 65.
Member for Chaguanas West.
No objection, Madam Chair.
The question is that clause 67 be amended as circulated. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say no. I think the ayes have it. The question is that clause 67 as amended now stand part of the bill. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say no. I think the ayes have it. Clause 67 as amended now stands part of the bill.
Clause 68.
The question is that clause 68 stand part of the bill. The question is that clause 68 now stand part of the bill. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say no. I think the ayes have it. Clause 68 now stands part of the bill.
Madam Chair, of course, for the record, I take it that the renumbering and cross-references are consequentially made.
Yes.
Much obliged. Thank you.
You're welcome. Honourable members, the question is that the bill as amended be now reported to the House. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say no. I think the ayes have it. This committee meeting is now adjourned. The House will resume. Member for San Fernando West.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I wish to report that the Cannabis Control Bill 2020 was considered in the Committee of the Whole and approved with amendments. I now beg to move that the House agree with the committee's report.
Honourable members, the question is that this House agree with the report from the Committee of the Whole on the Cannabis Control Bill 2020. All in favour say aye. Aye. Any against? The ayes have it. Member for San Fernando West.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that a bill entitled An Act to Provide for the Regulatory Control of the Handling of Cannabis for Certain Purposes, the establishment of the Trinidad and Tobago Cannabis Licensing Authority and connected matters be forthwith read a third time and passed.
Honourable members, the question is that a bill entitled An Act to Provide for the Regulatory Control of the Handling of Cannabis for Certain Purposes, the establishment of the Trinidad and Tobago Cannabis Licensing Authority, and connected matters be now read a third time and passed. All in favour say aye. Aye. Any against? The ayes have it.
A bill entitled An Act to Provide for the Regulatory Control of the Handling of Cannabis for Certain Purposes, the establishment of the Trinidad and Tobago Cannabis Licensing Authority, and connected matters.
Leader of the House.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that this House now adjourn to Friday, the 6th day of May, 2022 at 1:30 p.m. Madam Speaker, at that time we will debate an act to amend the Sexual Offences Act, Chapter 1128, and for other related matters.
Thank you. Honourable members, as we all know, we are in the blessed month of Ramadan, and before I put a question on the adjournment of the House, I will now call upon members to bring greetings. Member for San Fernando West.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Assalamu alaikum. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I offer peace unto all those of our beloved nation, and I begin in the name of God, the most compassionate, the most merciful. Madam Speaker, the holy month of Ramadan is one that is celebrated by all of Trinidad and Tobago. As we approach Eid al-Saghir, which is the second or smaller of the Eids, the first being Eid al-Adha, which is the larger Eid celebrated in the rest of the Islamic world, we in Trinidad and Tobago begin our reflections upon the 5 pillars of Islam that we have celebrated in this holy month of fasting. Madam Speaker, our country is all the much better for the unification of religions that we celebrate. But as we focus upon our Muslim brothers and sisters who have supplicated themselves unto Allah, the most merciful, the most beneficent, the epitome of all things superlative, we certainly reflect that it is the alms giving, the zakat, it is the faith, the iman, it is the reflection of stopping to feed our brothers and sisters when we broke fast, Madam Speaker. What better a way for us to have celebrated a month than at the break of dawn to find ourselves praying to the Almighty, and to then, during the journey of the day, purposefully take on thirst and hunger, so that we may reflect upon those who are certainly less fortunate than ourselves. Madam Speaker, the traditions of Islam are not far off from the traditions of Hinduism or Christianity, which in fact are joined by Judaism and other religions, where there is commonality in fasting and commonality in prayer. We had the Night of Power celebrated last night, Laylatul Qadr. And in looking at the night of prayer, the tradition which is observed is where you can stay awake for the entire night in recitation of prayer, knowing that the prayers that you offer are to be elevated and amplified with the power of the Almighty. Madam Speaker, Trinidad and Tobago has passed through significantly hard times. In these times, we have witnessed a pandemic. It is through faith, it is through charity, it is through giving, it is through sacrifice, it is through the generosity of spirit that Trinidad and Tobago passed through COVID, all of which are reflected in the 5 pillars of Islam, all of which are bound together in the celebration as we come to the end of the holy month of Ramadan. Ramadan, when it was first introduced, represented fasting and prayer in the longest month. And Madam Speaker, having spent a few long months in the Middle East myself, when the night time is but merely 3 hours long and the daybreak begins after 3 hours of nightfall and you're fasting for the entire time, I can tell you it is a journey, specifically when it's very hot. So, Madam Speaker, Trinidad and Tobago celebrates Eid ul-Fitr. Eid means a celebration, ul-Fitr of breaking of fast, Madam Speaker, as we all know it. And in coming to the celebration of breaking of fast, in coming to the sharing of meals, of generous giving, in particular the zakat, in terms of giving alms and in terms of sharing what you have with others, we can find no better day to celebrate Eid ul-Fitr than coming on Monday, May 2nd, which incidentally gives me a birthday gift at the same time. So, Madam Speaker, I, on behalf of the government of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, say Ramadan Mubarak. This has been a Ramadan Kareem. It's been a kind Ramadan, where we saw the easing of some of our sanctions, of our restrictions, where we could have iftar together again. Madam Speaker, the government of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, the Honorable Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley, celebrates with our Muslim brothers and sisters in this holy month of Ramadan coming to an end. Ramadan Mubarak. Thank you.
Member for Barataria Sanu.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. I begin in the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. Today I'm humbled to stand in this august chamber as the only elected Muslim Member of Parliament in the 12th Parliament to bring greetings on this most auspicious occasion of Eid al-Fitr on behalf of the opposition of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Allah commands us in Holy Quran, chapter 2, verse 183, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, kutiba alaykumus siyam, kama kutiba alal ladhina min qablakum la'alakum taqtakun, which is translated, O ye who believe, fasting is prescribed for you, as it was prescribed for those before you, that you may develop taqwa, or God consciousness. Fasting is one of the 5 pillars of Islam. Our brothers and sisters in Islam abstain from food and drink between dawn to dusk in the holy month of Ramadan. Fasting humbles us, as it makes us aware of the suffering and the challenges the less fortunate face who go hungry on a daily basis. Fasting teaches us that the most powerful or the rich are all equal in the sight of Allah. It reminds us how grateful we must be for simple mercies, such as food and water. During this holy month, we do not only abstain from food and drink, but we also free our minds from negative thoughts and practice self-restraint. We dedicate our time to prayer, increased charity, reading of the Holy Quran, zikr, which is the remembrance of Allah, and self-reflection. These actions bring us closer to our Creator. Ramadan is known as a time of unity, as it brings families and communities together. During the holy month, we sit with each other to break the fast at home or in the mosque. It is a time of happiness as we take that first bite of food and that sip of water after a long day of fasting. But COVID-19 deprived us of this opportunity. This year, for the first time after 2 years, it brings immense joy to my heart, knowing that the doors of our masjids are reopened. We are able to join in congregational prayer daily. During Ramadan, Muslims are able to perform the Taraweeh Salah every night. We also search in the last 10 odd nights for Laylatul Qadr, the night of power, which is believed to be better than 1,000 months. And last night we were able to be in congregation in commemoration of that night. Sunday evening marks the end of 29 days of fasting. So after we break our fast, we lift our heads in search of the crescent moon. The sighting of the crescent fills the heart with emotions, as it is a bittersweet moment. On the one hand, it marks the end of the beloved holy month of Ramadan, and on the other, it ushers in the joyous celebration of Eid. The last 2 years has taught us several lessons. The most important is the importance of life. Many of us listening right now would have lost loved ones in recent times. The sadness is indescribable of not seeing that person at home to share a cup of sawine for Eid, or joining them in iftar, or having a conversation with them at the mosque. I thank Allah for giving us the opportunity to witness another Ramadan, as we are not promised another. Let us take the lessons we learn in Ramadan and carry it with us throughout the year. I must acknowledge the efforts of the Imams, executives of the Jamaat, and all others who would have made sacrifices during Ramadan for iftar and Taraweeh. As we bid this Ramadan farewell, I pray sincerely that we live to see another. I ask the Almighty Allah to accept all our prayers and sacrifices made during this holy month and forgive us for any shortcomings. May Allah accept our fast and prayer, and I hope that your Eid be filled with love, laughter, and light. As the Member of Parliament for Barataria San Juan, I would like to wish Trinidad and Tobago Eid Mubarak.
Honorable members, I join members who have contributed before in extending greetings to the Muslim community and by extension to all citizens of Trinidad and Tobago on the occasion of the celebration of Eid ul-Fitr 2022. Eid is an Arabic term which is translated as festivity or celebration, and ul-Fitr as to break the fast. Eid ul-Fitr therefore marks the end of the month of Ramadan, the holy month of fasting. Muslims across the world refrain from food and drink from dawn to sunset daily during Ramadan, and this fasting is accompanied with increased prayer and acts of charity, with the aim of increasing their discipline and obedience to the teachings of Allah. Honorable members, the practices of fasting, sacrifice, discipline, and charitable works are virtuous practices which need not be confined to a season, as those practices build stronger character, self-control, tolerance, and compassion. Honorable members, on this celebratory occasion of Eid, as the members of the Muslim community celebrate the magnanimity of Allah in His provision of health, strength, prosperity, and peace, may we all as members of the national community, in joining with the Muslim community, not focus simply on the national holiday and the gaiety of the celebration, but reflect on the spiritual meaning and lessons to be derived from the holy month of Ramadan, and strive to inculcate the practices of restraint, self-control, sacrifice, prayerfulness, and charitable works in our daily practices. On behalf of the Parliament of Trinidad and Tobago, on behalf of my family, and on my own behalf to the Muslim community, and to all of Trinidad and Tobago, I wish you Eid Mubarak. And to the member of San Fernando West, on that very special day, I wish you happy birthday. Honorable members, the question is that this House do now adjourn to Friday, 6th day of May, 2022 at 1:30 p.m. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any against? I think the ayes have it. This House now stands adjourned to Friday, the 6th day of May, 2022 at 1:30 p.m.